This is Stars and Scopes with your friend Uma, updated every new and full moon with guidance based on planetary transits in the current sky and extra support from tarot. For accuracy, take a look at your rising sign first if you know it, and do feel free to listen to your sun, moon and rising if you'd like the full picture. If you're interested in your birth chart, check out the readings page at umaruby.com. And if you'd like to support the work, head over to buymeacoffee.com/umaruby and you can buy me a coffee. Finally, if you're a visual learner, look up Uma Ruby Tarot on YouTube and you can watch and learn. Okay, let's take a look. Hello Cancer and Cancer Rising. Welcome to your horoscope for the full moon in Aries, happening on October the 10th at 7:55 a.m. if you're in the Southern Hemisphere with me. So as far as that evening of manifestation and of magic spell casting, whatever, best to do it on the Sunday night, the night before on the 9th. There'll be perfectly beautiful lunar light for you to work with. This moon is really going to be a great opportunity for you, Cancer, to release yourself from some of the either like preconceived ideas about your most public self, how you're perceived by other people, or some of the disappointments around that, or some of the tension or the strife. There's a confidence that I really hope for you to get back to. There's a real forward movement, there's a direction, activation, sort of second sight that you have in terms of your career or in terms of your what you have to offer, the way that you're sort of publicly viewed. And there, I can see here in the tarot and I can see here in the astrology that there's residual pressure, there's residue that we kind of need to work through and beyond in relationship to that part of yourself in order for it to expand, in order for it to grow. I really feel that I have the parentals here. I have in a really simple way of reading the tarot, really basic. I have mother and father energy here. I have two ideas of stability. I have one which is yielding and regenerative and restorative and empathic and caring and fertile. And I have another which is powerful and structured and confident and directed. And the Emperor is big Aries energy. So in that way, I would imagine that there is a public perception, there's a very public face of yours that is very independent, that is very directed by self-directed, self-made, self-focused in a beautiful way, in a way that says, I know what I need, I know what I want, I can go and get it, I can take care of this. I'm one to be relied on, is what I really feel here. In that beautiful duality of the Empress and the Emperor, I feel that energy in you. I feel that yielding nature and that independent, structured nature in you in both ways. I think it's in all of us. We have the potential for both of these things to manifest and reveal themselves in our life. We have the Emperor and the Empress residing in us at all times. For this reading, I see that there has been some definite anxiety around that. Maybe that's around your rank, around your position in the job, in the life. But I can see that there's been sleepless nights and there's been insecurity and there's been anxiety coming at you when it comes to your... Let's think about it this way. The 10th house is a Capricorn house. The 10th house is definite structure and confidence. And this is what I see. I see that there's anxiety around your confidence, around your ability to give and receive and to provide and to produce and to offer and to nurture. And this is definitely going to be coming to some sort of endpoint. I see that there's a future here for you in terms of reconciling your confidence with your abilities. You're very capable, Cancer. You're incredibly capable at taking care of this, of running this ship, of steering it into really fertile water. And at the moment, you don't feel like that. At the moment, you feel that you're plugging up the spring holes in the dinghy, that you're just rubbing two sticks together to get by, that you don't have enough to provide perhaps for those that need it or those that you'd like to provide for. This is coming to an end, and I think that this Aries full moon would be the perfect time to release yourself from any kind of guilt that may be attached to that in some way. I really feel that the Aries spirit can be harnessed with this moon. It's a fire moon. So be the emperor. Restore that confidence. Pluto, as we know, is a real energy of reconstruction. It's a real energy of dissolution in order to grow again. Now, I bring Pluto up because they've just stationed direct. They were retrograde for the past 5 months. They often do that. It's half the year retrograde. They're so far away. It's no big issue. However, they've just stationed direct at the same time as Mercury has also stationed direct. And we know that a Mercury retrograde only lasts a couple of weeks, but the results are very immediate to us. We can definitely feel that miscommunication or that need, that urge to go over information before we say anything or to get the details again. Quite literally, Pluto and Virgo, they're your 7th and 3rd house. So your house of relationships, of your nearest and dearest, this is where Pluto is. This is where this reconstruction is. From the year 2008 until now, the idea of your intimate relationships has been going through some form of revolution in some way or another. The folks that you would consider to be important relationships have been going through a bit of a revolution. It's a long time to sort of say that, it's over a decade. This is coming to a crescendo point though. Pluto's about to leave Capricorn in the next couple of years. So, and this synchronicity of the forward movement with Mercury's in Virgo, which is your 3rd house of communication, the way that you express yourself. So what I see here is that there's some information that you need to communicate. There's some messages of love, harsh or not, caustic or not, passioned or not, but I would dare say probably quite passioned, that I think that you are ready to express to these relationships. I think that it's really going to be a lovely time for you to recalibrate and to reassert your public position, public, visible, whatever you want to say. There's a way that folks look at you that needs a bit of a shake-up. There's a doormat vibe that needs to be shook off and reestablished as a welcome mat, not a doormat. If that makes any sense between the two, but you're welcoming people into your energy. This is what I'm seeing here. You are very caring and yielding and gorgeous and accommodating. That's what you do, Cancer. That's your very nature. That's your sole purpose in a lot of ways, is to be the nurturer. However, I see that there's definitely some anxiety that is calcified, there's this residue of anxiety about your position in this life, about your relationships. There's some things that need to be communicated and they need to sort of be communicated now so we can move forward, because you're not going to be received in this if there's sorry, the cat just jumped on the microphone. If there's going to be a rejuvenation of the way that you're publicly respected, the way that you're respected, that your sense of self in as far as your vocation, kind of like what you're here for. This full moon would be a really great space for you to just quite simply remind yourself of what you're here for, and remind yourself of how it feels to be confident in that environment, to be confident with your skills and abilities and your offering, your active service. You're a Cancer, so it's got a lot to do with nurturing. It's got a lot to do with caretaking. And this is something that you can be really proud of and really confident in an Aries way, that it's just second nature to you, that that's just what you do. And you do it really well, and you do it beautifully. And sometimes you just need to remind everyone that that is your job. So in your relationships, in your 7th house contracts with other folks, in the way that you communicate, find some confidence there. As you move forward, find the energy of Mercury to know that you're on the right path. For Mercury to be in your 3rd house is ideal, because it's all about messages and communication. There's going to be a real groundedness to this communication now, because you've had this time over the last 3 weeks to go over and to re-establish your position, your ideas, your intent. And all this is to say that this is going to be a great moon to let go any of the shame that might be attached with that. If there's a way that you feel that you're perceived, if there's a way that your career could have gone, if there's activation points that maybe haven't been picked up just yet, use the Aries full moon to let it go. And know that you're on track and you're on the right path and you're getting there. It's been a freaking hard life and you're getting there. You're doing it. What you need is some reciprocal support. What you need is some respect, and you need some like hardcore reparenting is what I really see here. You need to reparent yourself, and you also need to receive that love and warmth and understanding from other people as well. You know how to take care of others very well, and you are also getting really good at being able to take care of yourself, Cancer. That nurturance that you offer for other people needs to come back to you as well. So reparent at this full moon. Sorry, that was a bit chaotic. I had some kitty cat interference with the sound. I hope it's okay. There's probably a chunk that I have to cut out. I'll deal with it. Much love to you. This is our last lunation before eclipse season. So really enjoy this one. Really allow the movement of the water with the moon. And then I'll prepare you for eclipse season coming up. The next 2 lunations will be eclipses. So there'll be a lot of external influence that we might see reveal itself in our lives. Right now, this one you have agency over. This one you'll have agency over everything, let's be honest. This is a moment for you to actively release. Protect yourself from anything that's being said to you by others or by yourself in your own brain. You are the Empress. You are the Emperor. And you're going to be just fine. I love you, Cancer. If you'd like your birth chart read, please do head over to umaruby.com and book yourself a reading with me. Tips are always welcome at buymeacoffee.com/umaruby. But until the eclipses, I love you. Enjoy the Aries full moon. It's going to be pretty vibey, like it's going to be a lot of high energy, so go with it. Maybe stay indoors if you want, but definitely allow those conversations to flow with those close relationships. Love you. Take care.